What's going on, YouTube world? It's Jay Coffee on the vid, and we got to talk about this playoff wild card round matchup coming up: Bills versus the Fins. The Fins fans were talking all that talk early on and got that dub over us, as well as the Jets. But you know what I mean? I kept comparing it to last year against the Patriots. That win game that we lost, where Belichick didn't trust Mac Jones to throw the ball more than 3 times. You know what I mean? That's not a future franchise quarterback if in crunch time the coach doesn't even have the confidence to have a guy throw 5 passes in a damn game. You know what I mean? But you know, I was comparing those vibes of this season to last year, right? Where the Bills ended up getting that revenge against the Patriots, dominating them, and then we got them in the wild card round and put them in the dirt one last time, where we had the whole uh, media journalists, some of them that covered the Patriots were like just in disbelief, utter shock. They couldn't take it. It's wild. This year, we got those wins back against the Jets and the Fins, and here we are in the wild card round facing the Fins one more time. Even though we should have had a bye, that's a whole nother story. I ain't gonna get all into that. You guys can let me know what you think about that. I don't really care. It sucks though that we lost the number one seed, but we're just happy that Damar Hamlin's okay. You know what I mean? But can't wait for this game to do the same to the Fins as we did to the Patriots last year. And I've been out of the loop, as I've been telling everyone, not tapped into everything going on. So what's going on? Is Tua playing? What do you guys think? Jump in the comments with your predictions on the game. Bills fans, Fins fans, anyone else. But a couple things that we got to talk about, and I need to hear from y'all on as well leading into this game, is first, Damar Hamlin is out the hospital, and that is just amazing news. I can't stress it enough. We've covered that tragic event that went down many times on the channel, but everything is turning out great. Best case scenario, his recovery and everything, and there's another Bills player back. Obviously, Damar Hamlin ain't playing. He may never play football again, but this really big news is the reunion of the dynamic duo, and that is, of course, Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. I love these dudes, man. They're amazing. They're the best safety tandem in the NFL. I don't give a fuck what no one says. And I always love their story. How Poyer had been written off, had a bad injury. Teams had overlooked him, you know what I mean? And Micah Hyde, same thing. When it came out contract time, the Packers were like, we're gonna go with the next guy on the roster. Best of luck. And, two guys that have essentially been kind of overlooked and written off thrived in NFL in Buffalo, and were a big part of this amazing team in era of Buffalo Bills football that we have. And it's kind of wild, guys. Early in the season, it's like, is this the last we saw of the dynamic duo? Poyer, contract issues. He's coming up on a contract year. Will him and the Bills work something out, or will he go elsewhere? That's where we already were leading into the season. But then Micah Hyde hurt very early on, and it was scary, man. It was like there were talks that it could be a career-ending injury. We didn't know what was going to happen. He was placed on the IR, but designated to return. And here he is. He's back. You know what I mean? So I just had to speak on that and point out how dope this is to have him back, how psyched I am, to have Poyer and Hyde back there in the secondary. This changes things immensely, in my opinion. Comment, guys. Like, I can't stress that enough. These guys were like always on the same page, always knew what the other one was doing. They're just the best, man. And leading into this playoff game, this has got me pumped the fuck up. So comment, if you're amped as well. Comment, what do you think's going to happen with the safety dynamic duo from this season beyond? I mean, obviously we don't know. We're just speculating, but this is major right here. This is history. It could quite possibly be the last time we see both these guys in Buffalo. I don't know.
Promise tomorrow, yo. What the you gonna do with your opportunity today? We gotta hit them enough. You see how.
So Jordan Poyer pumping the team up out there, coming out of the tunnel, leading into that game in Cincinnati, which we all know what happened again. God is good. DeMar is okay. You know what I mean? And I'm really motivated and positive and feel positive that the Bills are going to go out there and win it, for themselves, for the team, for the fans, for Bills Mafia, for this franchise, but of course also for DeMar. But Poirier is like a leader out there, the other half of this dynamic duo. And you see him psyching the team up. And, he had a lot of injury problems this year as well. And you see an interesting stat that I wanted to share with you guys. That's what was so crazy this year. We lose Hyde. Poyer's hurt a few games here and there. Someone else has to step up in that role. Other members of the secondary. Trey came back later than we thought he would. Like, it was wild. Linebackers, we just had a lot of injuries, and for the most part, man, the next guy was able to step up, and show that he could handle that role, and that's just another testament to how talented this team is. Even when it comes to the depth, which is huge. But a really interesting stat that I wanted to share with you guys, right, is that Pro Bowl Poyer, who I like, don't even get me started on these BS Pro Bowl selections and how it doesn't mean as much the way it used to, the awards that they give out. But Poyer, the Bills were undefeated when he suited up and went out there, and you see how pumped a lot of the fans were reflecting on this and seeing this pep talk. You see the different tweets. The Bills finished the regular season undefeated, 12-0 when Poyer played. Poyer is an absolute warrior, playing through multiple injuries in a contract year. Built different. Jordan Poyer leads the secondary out onto the field. Just amazing player. And again, like, Poyer, Hyde, all these guys, what they've done with this team, since Sean McDermott came to town and we were able to break that playoff drought. It's just been amazing. You know what I mean? Like, the vibes is just all that in Buffalo. These guys are a family, and I don't know. I just thought that was an amazing stat to share about Jordan Poyer and how key he is to the Bills' success, that the Bills were undefeated when he was out there this season. You know what I mean? And then we're going to have Hyde back out there with him. Again, I just can't stress that enough. So share your thoughts on Poyer, his career once again, what you think the future is going to look like in Buffalo, and what you think about this playoff game. Again, I'm out of the loop. I believe Tua is done, right? So who's starting? It's not going to be Bridgewater, right? It's that other guy. I can't even remember who it was. Shout out to the bro, Jay Millie. And make sure you guys, while you're watching the playoff game Sunday, Coffee's going to be live watching the game and talking with all you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you tap into that. But another interesting thing that I wanted to share with you guys, that this was just a couple days ago. This is not last season. The season before, the year the Bills went to the AFC Championship and lost to the Chiefs. It says, on this date in 2021, Josh Allen throws for 2 scores and runs for another as the Buffalo Bills win their first home playoff game since '95, defeating the Colts 27-24. Jordan Poyer's batting down of a last-second Hail Mary sealed the win. And you guys see all that game footage. What a game that was. You had Phillip Rivers on the tail end of his career with the Colts going out there trying to still push for a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And that was a very good Colts team. And if you pay attention to, you'll see in the footage Nyheim Hines, who is now a Buffalo Bill, breaking off a couple big runs. And obviously, you'll also see, if you pay attention to all the images popping up on the screen, Hines was named Special Team Player of the Week. He took one to the house and said, "Yo, that's for you, DeMar." DeMar Hamlin went crazy in the hospital, had the alarms going off as all the stuff hooked up to him, to keep an eye on his vitals. We're setting off all kinds of alarms and everything. It was an amazing moment. So Hines getting playoff special teams player of the week. But I'm also interested to know what you guys think when it comes to Hines. He's a guy since we secured him via a trade. McAfee, great content creator. I love wrestling as well. He kills it in the wrestling world. Was a good punter. He loves to talk sports. And when that trade went down, as we know, he's a Colt and he loves that franchise. He was like, man, this is huge for the Bills. Hines is a guy that, obviously wasn't first on the depth chart at running back, but is a hell of a running back. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's a touchdown waiting to happen. And, we have seen the Bills utilize him a little bit here and there, but as he's starting to pick up more momentum, he had a nice touchdown in that last game against Miami. Remember, guys, he hit the backflip. I'm really interested to know if you guys think that we'll see Hines utilized more in this game, kind of as a special weapon, going into the playoffs. As you know what I mean? It's the chess game of the NFL. These coaches are watching film on each other, all the coordinators, the staffs of all the teams trying to put together a winning game plan. And I don't know, I just feel like Hines, he's been underutilized with the Bills so far. And I really wonder if that's been strategic, for him to kind of be a weapon and, kind of let him break loose out there in this playoff game. So let me know your thoughts on that. But that's pretty much going to wrap this video up. Something else, though, shout out to my friend Jay Milley. As we see, he is a Niners fan. You see on one of these power rankings, they have the Niners at #1 over the Bills. Me and him have been talking all season long. If we could get a Bills Niners Super Bowl, that would be interesting. What do you guys think about them putting Niners above the Bills? Do you really pay much attention to power rankings? I really don't. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's pretty much all I got, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. And, anyone new, please subscribe to the channel. We talk football here. We talk other sports. We talk music, current events. We talk all kinds of ish over here when we do live streams where you can join in and call in, essentially, more or less, and it's a lot of fun. And don't forget, stop by Sunday during this epic playoff game. Bills versus the Fins in Buffalo and Orchard Park. And look forward to hearing what you guys got to say about all these different talking points and whatnot in the dynamic duo back together, the reunion. It's like couldn't write a better movie, more dramatic than this. You know what I mean? But I'm out of here, guys. Peace. Go Bills.